and Specialization. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Peter M. Oreta. Hello, sir.
Thank you, Ma'am Luisa. Uh, my my talk is about the in thing right now, the Philippine Qualification Framework, and I'll be happy to share with you the trend, and I will share my screen. I'll start with. And I'll make it fast, but I think I really need to share this with you for our common understanding of what is to be expected from us as professionals. The challenge here is that, do you want to become an international professional engineer? And if you say so, then go for it. If you don't, then you just stay as is. But these are the things that you have to consider, no? Um, Number one consideration that I'd like to walk you through is that let us understand the cognitive domain that are being used by what? ABET. The ABET is the American Board of Accreditation of America for Engineering and Technology, and also the American Society for Civil Engineers. And I would say that we have not really have taken initiative on this particular endeavor. So let's see what they're doing. And we are now using this, the Bloom's taxonomy. If you say that you have a level of achievement knowledge, level 1 ka po, and then if your level of knowledge is comprehension, level 2 ka, and then level 3 application, level analysis is level 4, and synthesis, level 5, and evaluation ay level 6. Mataas po ang evaluation. Pag nag-evaluate ka, mataas ang level of achievement mo. So, let me present to you what are the verbs that you will use when you say knowledge. Knowledge, or you say, I will recite, I will identify, I will understand, I will write. Knowledge lang yon. But if you say comprehensive, medyo mataas-taas na ang kaalaman mo. You are now explaining, you are identifying, and then when you say apply, then that is already level 3, and you analyze is mas mataas pa, and you synthesize, you design, you develop, you produce, and that is already level 5, and evaluation is level 6. Please take note of these verbs because ito will play an important role in our classification. Now, let me walk you to this Philippine Qualification Framework. We are governed by the ASEAN Quality Reference Framework. It is the umbrella organization na ito ang ating susundin para sa Pilipinas. 10 tayong states Brunei, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia. ASEAN yon. Nagkakaisa tayo para we can move from one country to another and then respetuhin ka. That is the mobility. But, hindi ka respetuhin kung wala tayong framework. So, mayroong sariling framework muna ang ating nakakaitaas, ASEAN Quality Reference Framework, and that mayroon tayong Philippine Qualification Framework na gagawin. Ang Thailand, mayroon ding National Qualification Framework sila, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, the 10 ASEAN countries. So, pansinin ninyo, by 2005, there was already a mutual recognition agreement sa engineering. And then, the MRA for nursing. So, and then, we have this now mutual recognition arrangement. Again, I would like to explain, this these countries will mutually recognize our equivalency, our practices, if you follow the standards. The standards created by ASEAN. Mother natin yun eh. So, kailangan niyang titingnan ang mga lisensya natin, certificates that you are granting, iyan ba may quality assurance, ang pagbibigay ng certification. So, tinitingnan yon. Why? Because this is for the mobility of professionals, engineers within the region. So, that is really the roadmap for the implementation of the ASEAN MRA. The basic qualification, saan ka nag-graduate? Saan ka kumuha ng postgraduate qualification mo? Ano ang mga core competencies mo? Anong trabaho mo? Anong scope of practice mo? Ano ba? Master of everything? They have to find that out. So, the ASEAN in 2010, pansinin ninyo, we have linked to ASEAN as a group, kasi member tayo ng ASEAN is linked now to the Asia-Pacific region. Pansinin niyo the word APEC. Pag the moment you get the recognition of APEC, international na ang recognition mo. Uulitin ko yan. Pag APEC ang iyong recognition, pang-international ka na talaga niyan. Because the other level of recognition ng jurisdiction is international professional engineers mobility. Pero hindi pa tayo membro dyan. Saan tayo membro? APEC. Uulitin ko, APEC. Asia Pacific Engineers Council. Okay. So, the regional situation is like that, no? In that graphical presentation, you'll see the ASEAN integration sana 2015 pa. 2020 na ngayon. So we are moving slow, very slow. We have to move fast, and we are moving fast now. And so there is now the recognition of the ASEAN MRA, and the 10 countries I mentioned, they respectively, they created their own national qualification framework, and for the Philippines, it is called Philippine Qualification Framework. And there will be a device for comparison, may referencing pa, may benchmarking pa yan, until they come up to an ASEAN Qualification Reference Framework na talaga. Pag once na yan ay nabuo, yun na ang susundin natin. Pag nasunod mo yon, you can now move from one country to another because you have all the qualification. So, I will not spend so much here, but I'll move first and foremost sa ASEAN Qualification Reference Framework. Ang level descriptor nila ng dalawang domains ay knowledge and skills and application and responsibility. Knowledge and skills, application, and responsibility. Yun ang kanilang definition, description of those domain. Pag level 7 ka, it is a forefront of a field, and you show mastery of a body of knowledge. A body of knowledge, mayroon tayo, civil engineering. I have here a body of knowledge, book 1, book 2, from the American Society of Civil Engineers. Now I have the book 3 of the American Society of Civil Engineers na body of knowledge for my reference. Kasi tinitingnan ko ito. You want to move from level 7 to level 8, these are the things that you have to display as your characteristic as an engineer. Now, baka naman for your appreciation, meron na yung agreement. So, in 2014, August, ASEAN Economic Ministers na-approve na yan. September 2014, the ASEAN Education Ministers approved na yan. And then the October 2014, the Labor Ministers from ASEAN approved na itong qualification framework. So, what is this Philippine Qualification Framework? It refers to the quality assured national, when we say national, Pilipinas, system for the development, recognition, and award of qualification at a defined level based on standards of knowledge and skills and values. One, acquired in different ways and methods by learners and workers. So, legal ba ito? There is a Republic Act 10968, series of 2007, which institutionalized the PQF framework and establishing the Philippine Qualification National Coordinating Council na kinocompose ng Department of Education, Department of Labor, PRC, TESDA, CHED, and I think I mentioned, 5 yata sila dyan, and the PRC. So, take note, CHED and PRC are part and parcel of this coordinating council. The declaration of policy is that it is the policy of the Philippines to institutionalize the Philippine Qualification Framework to encourage lifelong learning ng mga tao gaya natin, provides employees specific training, walang katapusan na training, seminar, workshop, and technical conferences like this for standards and qualification aligned to the industry standards. Hindi ka gumagawa ng qualification no wala kang match. You have to match with industry. What are the demands of industry? What are the demands of construction industry? What are the demands of the water resources group? No? And so, they would always look at the learning outcomes. What are the learning outcomes? These are the competencies. Kasi pag professional na tayo, ang tawag na sa atin ay, ano bang competency mo professional? Kung nag-aaral ka pa lang, you are just going for the attributes. You are just being prepared by the school to work beyond the school ay dahil may attributes ka from the school. Kaya depende yan sa school kung how they are prepared you to become a good engineer. Okay. So, these are the objectives no ng PQF nito, and then mayroong descriptors. Uulitin ko para nasa kaalaman natin. Una munang domain is knowledge, the skills and values. Application, ang pangalawang domain, at saka ang degree of independence. Yung degree of independence, sinusukatan ka na kung gaano ka decisive ka, is your level of independence high, hindi ka na sinusundan, dahil very independent ka na and decision maker ka na. So you belong now to the executive level yan, pag ganyan. Actually, you can already apply for APEC engineer pag ganyan. Okay. So the qualification framework went through years and years of implementing these meetings here. So ang daming meetings to understand this PQF. And finally, nagkaroon na tayo ng K-12 dahil we were being looked down by our neighbors dahil kulang tayo number of years. So we have now the K-12. K is 1 plus the elementary of 6 years, secondary of 6 years, and now the tertiary engineering civil is 4 years. That is now 16 years. Wala na sa ating makapigil dyan. We are now 16 and we are now complying internationally. So, huwag natin sasabihin, hindi tayo pang-international. We are pang-international na ang ating curriculum ngayon. So, we have this level now, leveling. Please take note. Pag level 1 tayo, ay para yan sa mga grade 10 and level 2 ay para sa grade 12. And then you have now the certificate which is called National Certificate 1, 2, 3, 4 and Diploma. Huwag na ninyong pansinin yan kasi ang tanong ko sa inyo, saan ba tayo? Doon tayo sa level 6. Baccalaureate, nakatapos na kayo ng 5 years nating baccalaureate degree. Level 6 na kayo kaagad. Pero ito po ang ating susundan. Gusto ba ninyo mag-level 7? Kailangan maintindihan ninyo ang criteria how to move up from level 7 to level 8. Ay dahil level 6, never mind that now. And I will explain that to you in my presentation. Kasi dalawang presentation itong pinapakita ko sa inyo. Okay, so I say, level 1, itong description. Tatanungin niyo ako, saan galing to? This was done nationally. And we are just trying to put that into action by making the necessary now resolution and IRR for all of this. So, I'll bring you to 7. Sa knowledge and skill, ang graduates dito have advanced knowledge, word advanced. Knowledge and skills in a specialized or multidisciplinary field of study for professional practice or self-directed research. Pansinin niyo, professional practice, kung nasa akademya kayo, mga research. Application. Applied in professional work that requires leadership and management in a specialized or multidisciplinary professional work. Kung akademya kayo, research and or for further study. For level of independence, here in level 7, independent ka nga in terms of disciplinary field with very minimal supervision. Mayroon pa. So, pag ako ang isang evaluator moving towards APEC, I will ask you, where are you? In what level of the organization are you? Are you decision maker? Are you the manager? Are you the president? Are you the vice president? So, tinitingnan ko yan. Ilan bang tao mo? Ay dahil tinitingnan ko how decisive you are. So, there are two tracks. You can go to level 7 kung mag-masters ka. So, academic track yan. And you can go to level 7, ay ayaw mo mag-masters eh. Wala ka ng oras diyan, ayaw mo na. Ayaw mo na mag-aral. So, you go for professional track. But when you go for professional track, there are now criteria that we have to follow. And that is now level 8. Tingnan ninyo. Pag level 8, that is now the time when you reach your academic degree of being a doctorate degree holder. And your independence is very high already. And then, hawak mo ang mga taong mechanical, electrical, foreigner, local, because multidisciplinary yan and complex setting. So, sinusukatan ka dito. In fact, I'm happy to hear kay Ernie kanina mga sinasabi, talagang gano'n na po ang kalalabasan natin. So, ito po ang leveling dyan. Uulitin ko, yung level 8 na yan, sa higher education, mga doctoral degree holder, you can be assured that you will be in level 8. And pagkatapos, level 7 kung may master's degree ka. Okay, now I move fast. And I will go now to some related policies sa PRC. The Continuing Professional Development Republic Act 912, sabi dito, it is the policy of the Philippines to promote the practice of profession in the country. And the state will institute measures that will continuously improve the competence ng individuals in accordance with international standards of practice. Huwag nating sasabihin, sikat ako sa Pilipinas. But if you are not recognized internationally, medyo that is yet to be aspired for. Aspire for international recognition. And when you aspire for the international recognition, you go through these stages sa ngayon hindi pa masyadong umiiral, pero dapat galing ka sa eskwela na ang kanyang programa ay internationally accredited. Ang mga programs na yan. Isa yan sa mga requirements. So, when we prepare the curriculum sa CHED, we saw to it that we embrace OBE following the Washington Accord ay dahil pang international na talaga yan. Okay. Ang ating practice ay construction management engineering. Ito ang specialized. 15% in the curriculum are being allotted kung ano yung gusto mo. Malaki yan sa curriculum na 4 na taon. You want to go for environmental or energy engineering. You want to go for geotechnical engineering, water resources, structural, transportation, and then later on may civil engineering mga awards dyan for that. Okay, so this is now the meat of my talk, no? And I just would like you to understand na I am also with the PRB board, the Continuing Professional Development Council, and we have been working on this. Dr. Estaniero and I have been consulting, preparing all of this, and these are tentative. But I want you to listen because it may come out to be the policy, and for you, parang baga sa atin, na advanced knowledge na kayo, advanced information. In fact, in the road show ng PICE chapters na yan, I have been talking about this, but because napakahaba ng aking salita, hindi ko na halos abot-abot. But this time, let me share this parang kumbaga sa atin, this work, the love of work for the love of country, for the love of Filipino engineers. We want Filipino engineers to be international, to be internationally recognized. And so we have to have this legal basis, why it was done. Mayroon 10968, mayroon 10917, mayroon tayong pinagbabasihan ng civil engineering law natin na 544, and then mayroon na po ngayong PRC resolution number 1262 na creation of the career progression and specialization program and credit accumulation and transfer system, CPSP CATS committee for each of the regulated profession. Now, please focus your attention to this diagram. You will notice in the topmost portion is the academic track, and in the lower portion of the presentation is the professional track. When it is the academic, yun, uulitin ko na naman. Ano ba, may master's degree ka ba in civil engineering? Mag-level 7 ka na dyan. Meron ka na bang PhD in civil engineering? Qualifier, talagang civil engineering, level 8 ka na dyan. Pero if your master's degree ay allied, mayroon ka pang 2 years related engineering experience, at saka kung ang PhD mo ay related, mayroon pang qualifier requirement of 2 years respective engineering practice. Ayaw mo mga academ, di punta tayo sa professional track. In the professional track, minimum years of engineering practice, pag level 7 ka, at saka 2 years responsible charge of significant engineering work ay kailangang evidently displayed by the applicant. For you to become level 8, more than 7 years and plus the criteria that I will be presenting. So I hope you understand. Now, when you say level 6, you are a graduate at saka nakapasa ka ng board examination. Ang requirements dyan. So, next. We are proposing the following titles. Pag level 6 ka, ang title mo sa PRC na lalabas, Registered Civil Engineer. level 6 ka. You move towards senior civil engineer. Propose yan, ha? Proposal. It's not yet the final. The title we propose to be senior civil engineer. Level 7 ka na. And when you move to level 8, you will now be called and have the title advanced level civil engineer. Okay. Bakit namin ito medyo nag-debate kami sa word professional civil engineer 1, professional civil engineer 2, professional civil engineer 3? Kasi sa law natin, wala pa tayong professional na nameplate na yan eh. So, we're just, but depende, no? Baka mag-evolve ito. We will see. Okay. So, for a registered civil engineer 6, level 6 ka, you're a holder of baccalaureate degree, BS Civil Engineering, and you have chosen your field of specialization. Kaya nga sa aming curriculum, mayroon ka ng pipiliing curriculum. And you have passed the civil engineering examination. When you move to level 7, option mo, pipiliin mo academic ka ba or professional track ka. But you can only be recognized sa academic kung civil engineer ka. Okay. Parating civil engineer license ka. Parating ganon. Okay. So, when you move to level 8, again, academic track, holder of doctorate degree, or related, pero may mga plus experiences pa ang idadagdag sa qualification mo. And then, yung option 2 mo, I'm sure that many of you are in the stage of this recognition. You and I, kayo, you have already contributed significantly to the impact of civil engineering profession. Kailangan po gumawa na kayo ng narrative report on this particular contribution. Nagiging sa kwan ba kayo, district engineer? So, isa yon. Nagiging secretary ba kayo ng Department Public Works? My God, you have already nagiging presidente ba kayo na isang chapter na ito, and you have already managed all the complex problem of how to manage these people, different personalities, and whether you have accomplished successfully yung mga inyong events na mga ganyan because of your leadership, my friend. That's just an example that I would like to show to you. Okay, now, ano pang mga kailangan po? You must earn 50 credit per year. So, itong 15 points, renew mo lang ang license mo dyan. It's not, it does not stop you from renewing 15 credit units to renew after 3 years. But if you want to improve yourself and be recognized professionally, you have to go through this. 150 credit units of CPD activities for every year of renewing your recognition. So, please take note of that. That's why, magmula siguro ngayon, magkaroon na kayo ng portfolio, counting your number of units, hanggat makuha mo itong mga desired kwan. And then, of course, you must be recognized by the APO, PIC. Okay? And the APO has this code of ethics and conduct, being a good abiding civil engineer under the APO. So, kailangan yon ng certification from APO. Okay? For you to go to, ayaw mo na academic eh. Option 2, ang gusto mo, ay kailangan po gumawa kayo ng engineering practice report. Kailangan sulat ninyo anong mga accomplishment ninyo, anong projects na hawakan ninyo, highlighting your experience in the area of design ba? In the area of water, design of water structure, in the design of ports and harbor, and para malaman natin kung ano ang specialization mo. And then, do you have the competency according to the PQF level assignment, which I am going to show to you next. Okay? And I will repeat again the different specialization program natin or the technical specialization areas natin. Construction Management Engineering, Environmental, Geotechnical, Structural, Transportation, and dito na siguro mga sub-specialty niyan, railroad, mga ports, transportation is the mother engineering profession of this sub-specialization. Okay. Now, this is the level 6. Wag na natin to dahil ito ginawa na namin sa CHED. Kung ang domain ay knowledge and skill, ang pag sinabi naming program outcomes na you must have the ability to apply the knowledge of math and science to solve complex civil engineering. Pag knowledge and skill, ang tinatapat naming mga subjects diyan, calculus 2, calculus 1 and 2, chemistry, physics, calculus based na ngayon ang physics na ituturo, engineering data analysis, differential equation, statics of rigid bodies, dynamics of rigid bodies, mechanics of deformable bodies. Pagdating na sa application yan, kailangan yung engineering drawing and plans. Hindi na ito engineering drawings and lettering. You must understand the engineering plans now. So again, depende sa teacher ito, ang pagtuturo ng mga subject na ito. And then the numerical solution for CE problems under complex problems. You have to make use of the numerical solution. So forth and so forth, no? Medyo na table na namin where the subject, na map na namin where the subject will be located according to the descriptors. That's why, pag kami nag-evaluate ng offering ng eskwela, tinitingnan po namin ito. Tinitingnan namin sinong nagtuturo, isang part-timer, labas-pasok lang, wala namang improvement, ang pagtuturo ay isa yang no sa amin ngayon. Kailangan talaga ituro sa mga batang ito, forthcoming civil engineers to be, ay dahil they are aspiring to be recognized internationally. So, we now go to level 7 competency. Please take note. Okay. Meron pa yatang 5, no? Mabilis lang ito, Luisa. Ginamit natin dito ang engineering competency ng International Engineering Alliance. So, the competency will be comprehend and apply knowledge. When I say knowledge and skill, use the word use. Pagdating sa application, apply. Pagdating sa degree of independence, analyze. And then, ito ay pang-universal knowledge. May alam ka ba internationally? Yung pangalawa is local ang iyong comprehension. Okay? Now, pagdating dito sa design, please take note. Iba ang para sa construction management, iba ang pang geotechnical, iba ang pang structural, iba pang transportation, hydraulics, and water, and so forth. Okay. Move fast. Ito na po ang level 8. Ang level 8 na ito, uulitin ko, para just to be quick, nasa managerial level ka na. Nasa may-ari ka ng kumpanya, di ba? Dahil nga medyo, huwag na natin pag-usapan, you know mathematics already. Ito ay yung naintindihan mo ang mga constraints, economic, social, environmental, lahat for decision making. So, you must display this what I say, qualification. So, with that, mayroon ng siniya sa akin, si Madam, so I have to end. Medyo hanggang doon lang ako. Okay. Thank you. for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Peter Oreta, for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, skills, and a very informative presentation. Okay, so we have learned for Dr. Oreta's lecture is all about lifelong learning. So we keep on training and learning and learning and learning, non-stop learning until we achieve the maximum and the highest degree. Then the leveling in career progression, we have three levels from 6, 7, 8 that comprises the knowledge, skills, applications, and responsibility. So there is also a specialization and different uh, engineering like construction management, energy and environmental engineering, geotechnical, structural, transportation, and hydraulic and water. So for the legal basis, we learned that engineers to be recognized internationally. So we have to keep on studying, keep on attending training, leveling up our profession until we meet this level 7, level 8. The highest level is 8.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very nice presentation and sharing your wisdom to us. Thank you very much, Dr. Peter Oreta, and stay safe, sir.
Thank you.
Would like to present to you the Certificate of Appreciation. Let me read the citation of the certificate, Dr. Oreta. Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers Incorporated presents this Certificate of Appreciation to Dr. Peter M. Oreta in grateful appreciation of his participation as a speaker on the topic Philippine Qualifications Framework, Career Progression and Specialization, and for his invaluable contribution to the success of the 2020 PICE Virtual National Convention and Technical Conference with the theme PICE Focus 2020, Understanding the Past, Engineering the Future, Moving Forward to the Challenges of the New Normal, held on the 20th to the 21st of November 2020 through the Zoom Cloud Meeting app, given this 20th day of November 2020 in Quezon City. Signed by Engineer Clemente A. Ibo, First Vice President and Chair of Conventions Committee. Signed by Dr. Erdsan Rene Esuero, National President, and attested by Engineer Peter Paul P. D. Jr., National Secretary.